It's time to talk about Moon Man. Yep. We're here doing it live like we do every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Moon Man number 1 was announced yesterday.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
We gotta have the fireplace on. What are we doing?
Space Monsters.
We gotta have the fireplace. Okay, there we go. Moon Man number 1 was announced yesterday. Your boy Smitty is here to announce Moon Man number 2. We're putting him on the list. We're doing the ceremony. Get ready to file on in. First in the building was James today, followed by Danger, Space Ricky, Phillip. Appreciate you being here. Hit that thumb up button. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show Moon Man edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? You are watching a very, very special edition of the Fantasy Football Show where we break down news and all that, of course, like we always do Monday through Friday. But this particular day, we are dropping another Moon Man on the Moon Man list. So file on in, get ready, get your popcorn ready. Bijan Robinson was the first Moon Man that we dropped for 2023. We did that yesterday. We did it live. We had a ceremony. We essentially thanked all the other Moon Men from 2022 and sent them on their way. They have graduated from the Moon College. And now we are here ready to celebrate Moon Man number 2 for 2023. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. All right. So, without further ado, it's time to break out your lighters, your cell phones. Get ready. Here we go. Moon Man number 2 for the 2023 fantasy football season
The Moon Man,
is
dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, welcome to the Moon Man. Let's run it back with Garrett in there. Let's run it back.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space monsters indeed. Look at this Moon Man list, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good-looking Moon Man list. These two individuals are headed to the moon. Now, let me first start off by saying that I wasn't the biggest fan of Garrett Wilson walking into 20. Let's put Garrett Wilson right here. We got Bijan right here. We got good old Garrett Wilson right here. Let's talk about these Moon Men. I wasn't the biggest fan of Garrett Wilson coming out. Like I liked him, but I didn't think he was going to be as good of a good transition and be as explosive and electric. The thing that's kind of nice about this situation is that Garrett Wilson's quarterback situation, while it matters, while it's important, while it's something that I feel very, very, I feel very, very nervous about in some ways, because we don't know if Mike White's maybe not even going to play this week. I imagine they try and keep Mike White on the roster. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if teams are going to be. We'll see what happens as far as that situation in 2023, and it could certainly impact things a little bit. But Garrett Wilson's one of those guys that, like, there are certain players that can thrive no matter what their surroundings are, and I feel like he's that kind of player. And I feel like the Jets are so close to becoming a contender. They are. Like, you can come in and say, oh, the Jets are garbage. They failed. They have no quarterback. That's the point. They have everything but quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. And so they're going to be on the hunt for solving this problem. In the moment Garrett Wilson gets an electric quarterback, an elite quarterback, then it's going to be an absolute, locked in. Everyone's going to feel the same way about him. No one's going to have any questions. Right now, you have an opportunity to capitalize on a very low-valued Garrett Wilson in Dynasty, in keeper leagues, in upcoming redraft leagues. If, let's say, the quarterback situation isn't even fully solved, or it's a little unclear and ambiguous walking into the week 1 2023, there's a real strong shot that you're going to get this guy cheap in August too. Now, I believe that when Breece Hall gets back, moving and firing on all cylinders, and Breece Hall's in there, and the recovery for his ACL is going to be, looking like smooth sailing, if it is. And I kind of feel like it's going to be with Breece Hall. He's so young. I think that he has a really quick recovery. Then you're going to start seeing people hype up the Jets a little more. When they hype up the Jets a little more, they're going to hype up Garrett Wilson a little more. It's kind of like a cobweb. There's a cobweb on all these Jet players, so if anything good or positive happens, it pulls up everybody a little bit in everybody's mind. So, while it's easy to say, hey, Garrett Wilson is going to be doubted by a lot of people all offseason long, that's true. And I think that it's always going to be there unless they trade for an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady. And while you come in here and say those things are impossible to happen, they're not impossible to happen. We've seen crazy things go down. We've seen Christian McCaffrey get traded to the San Francisco 49ers this past season, this season that's still ongoing right now. We've seen so many crazy things happen. It wouldn't be shocking to see the New York Jets say, we've got everything in place to dominate. And they do. They've got a defense. They've got Breece Hall. They've got Garrett Wilson. They've got a wide receiver crew that's pretty darn good and underrated. They've got a lot of talent on this squad. All they need is a signal caller. All they need is a quarterback. And if they go and make an aggressive move and get somebody, let's say, as Sandu says, Lamar Jackson, he's not super happy to be where he's at right now. That's why he didn't sign a big contract extension. And some will say it's about the money. Part of it is about the money, but Lamar's hesitant, and he'll stay for the money, but he wants the right amount of money to stay in a place where he doesn't feel like he's truly supported the way he wants to be supported. Yeah, they let him run around and do whatever he wants. That's not what he wants. He wants wide receivers. He wants the quarterback position to be supported differently, and it wouldn't shock me at all if Lamar said, hey, I'm not having success here. And whether we blame it on Lamar or not, Lamar, psychology, fantasy football, baby, psychologically, Lamar is saying what? This isn't me. I'm not the problem. It's this situation. I want out. Lamar could go anywhere he wants. Lamar Jackson would not shock me if he was in New York. It would not shock me if Lamar Jackson was in Las Vegas. It would not shock me if Lamar Jackson was with another team in 2023 and it be something like mind blown. There is a lot of movement at the quarterback position that could still happen. Smitty is on one. You're talking about the Jets, bro. See, this is the kind of, no offense, bro. No offense, Marty, but this is the kind of talk that we hear every once in a while from people that just, they take historically what's happened, and they just try and act like it's never going to change. Marty, do you recall, you probably were the one. Do you recall one of 1,000 people that ran their mouth at me, Marty, when they said the Bengals wouldn't be a good team? Are you one of the 1,000 people that would constantly chirp at me and say, Smitty, the Bengals can't win the division? I said, watch the Bengals win the division. But it's the Bengals. Smitty, the Bengals can't win. The Bengals, Smitty, they can't win. There's just no way. This Jamar Chase, it should be Penny Sewell. They should draft Penny Sewell, Smitty, not Jamar Chase. Sewell's the answer, Smitty. You know how many people, including NFL, actual NFL coach that came on the show, that I debated and said that Jamar Chase was the answer. Jamar Chase would take the Bengals to the promised land. And what was I told? by an actual NFL coach on my show that I was dreaming, that I was living in dreamland. I was living in bizarro world. So, Marty, things change, bro. The Jets aren't the Jets anymore, Marty. And I appreciate you, Marty. I'm not mad at you, Marty. You can call in if you want. We can discuss it like just debate it. I don't care if they're, as long as it's civil, Marty. But Marty, call in if you want, discuss it. But if you think the Jets are the Jets, what do you see around you defensively? The offensive weaponry, Breece Hall. What would the Jets be looking like if Breece Hall never got hurt? They'd still be doing really well. This is a playoff contending team right now. My whole point is this. Garrett Wilson is on the rise. Garrett Wilson, as a rookie, showed enough to me that I can anoint him one of the top, probably I'd say at least a top 10 wide receiver candidate next year, and that's being gentle. That's treading lightly. This guy's got 5 to 10 potential upside. Where's my light there? 5 to 10 potential upside, but we'll put him as a top 10 wide receiver. Here we go again.
But Smitty, Garrett Wilson doesn't have a QB though, Smitty, come on!
Oh, Anthony, poor sap. I appreciate you though, bro. I appreciate you though. You're welcome to call in too. It's Smitty. All right. Get ready. Here it is.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters indeed. What's going to be funny is watching everybody jump on this train. And like let's say Mike White does play and plays well this week. They'll jump on this train again. Let's say Mike White doesn't do well. And let's say they acquire. Let's say Lamar Jackson's in New York next year. Let's say Aaron Rodgers or something. Like there's QB movement potential. Everyone said that Russell Wilson wouldn't be in Denver. Everybody said that Christian McCaffrey would never get traded. These things happen all the time. But what's funny is once Garrett Wilson gets a QB, we'll see so many people circling back and jumping on this train, but we're not going to let you on because you're using he doesn't have a quarterback in this game, Smitty. Smitty, he doesn't have a quarterback. You're using this excuse now because you can't see past the curve, bro. Your boy Smitty's crawling to the corner, looking around the curve, trying to be ahead of the curve for you, and you're worried about around the corner. Let me worry about around the corner. Okay? Let me worry about that, Anthony. Or anybody else's. Or the quarterback! It's going to get fixed. It's going to get fixed, and if it doesn't get fixed, guess what? If Mike White does stay, it's still competent quarterback play. You can make fun of Mike White all you want. You weren't making fun of Mike White when he was connecting with Garrett Wilson weeks ago. Let Mike White rest up a little bit and heal up. If he's on this roster, he's still going to be a very good quarterback for Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson can survive even with bad quarterback play, but do you think that the Jets are really going to leave it the way it is right now? Do you believe that the Jets coaching staff and this organization doesn't realize it has a playoff team, not just a wild card playoff team, a team that can win multiple playoff games, except for they don't have a signal caller? Does anybody really believe? Smitty hit with everyone on his Moon Man list this year, so I trust you. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony is not a poor sap. Anthony to the moon, actually.
To the moon.
Thank you, Anthony. Come on, Schmitty. Look, we got pushback on the Moon Men list a lot last year, too. And to be honest with you, I had a little chart a little short in the pants after week 1 on the Moon Man list. The Moon Man list was very slow moving. Your boy Smitty was a little bit worried about it, only because the whole thing was slow moving. The entire from Burrow to Jamar to everybody that was on the Moon Man list, it was very slow moving. But boy, did it come through. The Moon Man list was straight fire. And your boy Smitty couldn't be more proud of that group that we had on there. But the Moon Man list is starting off on absolute fire right here.
The Moon Man.
Sandu, hang tight on that one. That might be one upcoming, okay?
Space Monsters.
Man. Moon Man City. Moon Man City. Let's open up the phone lines and take some phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Let's talk fantasy football 2023. I don't mind talking a little bit of your 2022 dilemmas, but you know, I don't think everybody wants to hear about your backstory anymore. And your commissioner's gone rogue, and you know, we handled a lot of that already. If you're gonna talk about your 2022 dilemma, be brief. I don't want to hear the whole story about Uncle Rick created this league 15 years ago, and your Aunt Susie jumped into it, and she traded with Bob. Bob then went on a walk one day, left his phone at the house, and Uncle Bud got on her phone, dropped, Christian McCaffrey. It's a big mess, and now you're in the championship game, and you're mad because you're not getting your money. Like, make it quick, make it count. Your boy Smitty will help take care of you. I'll give you a quick little ruling, but that's it. Dial into the show if you want to talk fantasy football 2023. I feel like the Moon Men list is a prized possession and best kept secret that I won't disclose to anyone in my league. Well, tell your non-league mate friends at least, because we're an NFL show and we need to spread the word. Let's see here. Bijan projected by some to the Eagles. We talked about this a lot. The most likely landing spots would be inside the top 10. He's going in the top 10. You got the Cardinals at where are we at, 4 or 5. You've got the Eagles at 10, the Eagles would be hard pressed to get him because he'd have to fall to 10. The Eagles would have to probably trade up to get Bijan Robinson because I don't think they can land him around the 10 spot. You got Carolina would be interested. The Raiders will be interested. There's a lot of good landing spots potentially. And every team in the top 10, which is what's great about Bijan going so high, is no one's going to mess around unless they really, really need a running back. That's the way it used to be in the NFL. Top rookie running backs didn't have a risk of landing in bad situations because if you're taking a running back in the top 15 overall, you need one badly. You're not wasting a pick on one like you might in the second or third round and say, we kind of need a running back. And then you take a big name guy and he's in a cloudy situation. Not the way that it happens anymore. Bijan getting drafted in even as high as 4 or 5 or 6 overall will go not to a team that doesn't need him. So the situation will be probably good, 90% guarantee he's going to be in a very, very good situation from Arizona to Philly to the Raiders to the Panthers to one of those situations. The only one that we came up with that was kind of like sketchy. I forget what the one Falcons was. Yeah, Falcons was one that was a little sketchy, but still would be okay because if you draft him, you're starting him. Okay, but Allgeier's there. I like Allgeier. I hope that Allgeier doesn't get removed from the player pool for 2023 fantasy football options because if Bijan got drafted, he would be irrelevant. So hopefully the Falcons realize they have bigger problems like quarterback. Ritter's not the answer. Hopefully they draft a quarterback. And then that way, the only team that can maybe potentially step on the situation in terms of Bijan being an amazing pick, in a great landing spot would be the Falcons, and that would be off the table. So, all right, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. Houston, a number 2 high pick. Yeah, they could. I think they like Pierce a lot, and we love Pierce, but they've got bigger. They're going to go QB. I would imagine. I don't think they would go Bijan, unless they're. I don't think they would. But you never know. Wide receiver, yeah, that would be interesting, Anthony, but not maybe. We'll see. What is the highest we're taking Bijan a redraft? Don't tell anybody, but I would easily. I don't even know. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say, bro. I want to say. I'll say right now, and this might not even be my limit, bro, but if push came to shove and I had to take Bijan at number 5 in redraft, I probably wouldn't. And I'm not even saying that's my limit. I'm just saying, let's just leave it at that. Dynasty, number 1 overall. In a Dynasty startup. You throw every single player in the NFL into a pool, I'm still taking Bijan Robinson, number 1 in a Dynasty fantasy football startup 2023. Let's not get carried away for several reasons. Number 1, in redraft. I don't want anybody taking him at 5 if they don't have to. So Bijan, we need to tread lightly. We need to explore the ADP, and we need to settle around the ADP. And if we want to reach a little bit ahead of the ADP to ensure we get Bijan, that's fine. But we need to figure out where Bijan's ADP is going to be, because there will be people that think it's crazy, like Cryptic. Cryptic thinks 5 is crazy in redraft. So why would you want to draft Bijan at 5 if there are people that are going to help push him down to 8, or 9 or 10? So you got to be careful you got to use ADP to your advantage. Going in the first round in redraft, for sure. He'll be at the very, very minimum a 10, 11, 12 pick. I mean, that's it. That's if things are, the hype is not crazy or the landing spot's iffy, like something like that. I'm an Eagles fan for 30 years, and we're not drafting years. We not drafting a Bijan Robinson. We're going interior lineman, says Scoob. Yeah, I mean, that could work. That makes sense. If Bijan runs over a 4.45 or a 4.5 or under 40, I'm fading him. Wow. Really? Or over 4.5. Prime, fading him. Bro, you're fading the moon, man? Already? Prime. Bijan is the next LT, bro. He's the next LaDainian Tomlinson. He's going to be unreal. Ronaldo. Bijan, bottom of the first is a steal. Agreed. And we got to take advantage of those steals if they're presented to us. I don't know if I have the phone line off or what. The phone line has never been. Let me go ahead and restart it.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't know what's going on with the phone line. But it's a good question. I haven't seen him play a down, so I'll have to take your word on it, but I trust in Spitty. Well, all you got to do is type in Bijan Robinson on YouTube, bro, and watch for 45 seconds, and then come back. You'll be like, you're right. You're right. This guy looks like LaDainian Tomlinson and Kenneth Walker and, I don't know, Le'Veon Bell all had a baby. His ADP is going to yeah, it's going to be one of those things where he's like a 12 pick, then he's 11 pick, then he's 10, then he's 9, then all of a sudden people are going to be, ranking him in the freaking top 5 to 7. But we'll see. We'll be a big reason why. We're going to be a big reason why. Will be a big reason why his ADP climbs. Anthony says, how do you feel about keeping 1 to 2 players, Smitty? We are doing a keeper league in our league. I mean, I'm I'm okay with that, but you gotta if people have already drafted in the redraft sense and then you want to turn it into a keeper league, it's not fair unless the entire league wants to do it. You can't even do it if like 7 out of 12 of you want it because they didn't draft under those pretenses. You know, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
I mean, I'm okay with that.
You're live, bro.
People have already redraft sense.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. He literally makes guys stand still and shakes him on full speed cuts. Yeah, anybody that's gonna say if he runs like a slow 40, like he is unreal. He's unreal. There's nobody like him. Yeah, Andrew says mute your video in the background. I don't know why people call in with the show full blast. Little Priest Holmes throw in there too. Yeah, I could say Priest Holmes, definitely peanut butter. You could definitely say Priest Holmes, a little Priest Holmes-esque talent inside that Bijan Robinson. He's so good. I'm sniping Bijan from Smitty and mocks this summer. Yeah, East Coast Teddy, just be careful not to take him like at 1 in redraft. Our community is so bad about being patient in a mock draft. You're all going to be competing for who gets Bijan, and he's just going to go 1. You guys are in redraft, you're just going to take him at 1, and it's going to be ridiculous. Don't do it. Let him slide out of the 5. I can see it now. Taddy, don't do it, Taddy. I feel like Taddy did this with somebody like Breece Hall last year. I feel like Taddy was always going a little too early. Not that you were wrong, because it ruins our ADP. Where are you drafting Christian McCaffrey and Eckler this year? I'm going to be staying away from Eckler for a lot of reasons. I think CMC, I do like his situation, and while I didn't envision wanting to draft him as high as I do now for 2023 at the beginning of the year, his situation is phenomenal, and they're going to use him a ton. I do worry about Kyle Shanahan though being involved, and what if he's dialing back the usage early on next year to keep him healthy, and then we're all just like seeing a McCaffrey and Mason like split or something like that. I don't know, but McCaffrey's top 5. Eckler, it's not that I won't draft Eckler at a certain point, but I know that I probably won't ever have to draft him because he'll go in like the top 5, and I'm not taking him in the top 5. He's going to be 28 years old. Even though he avoided injury this year for the most part, he's still a very injury-prone player, smaller stature, being asked to be a workhorse running back. He's 28 years old. 28-year-old running backs, aside from Derrick Henry this past year, they just don't do anything at 28 years old anymore. They're not able to play at that elite volume anymore. So I'm going to stay away from Eckler this year. And you'll hear a whole bunch as to why. And a lot of people will be upset about that. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Top 5 right now. I don't know, bro. We'll go over that. I mean, we'll get into that. There'll be a video on it. Jordan Addison's so good, says Anthony. Jordan Addison says Andrew. There are a lot of good RBs, man. A lot of good RBs. This is a good draft class. This will be an exciting draft. Sean says this here. I just looked at Robinson highlights for 1 minute, and I can definitely see the Lev Bell comparison. Super patient runner. Yeah, all you need is a little splash of it, and you should know. Yeah, there's a lot of, and then you got, remember Charbonnet, the running back I talked about last year being the next Derrick Henry-esque kind of player. Charbonnet, you'll have Charbonnet entering this draft. I'm not saying he'll turn into Derrick Henry, but in terms of like just being a monster, like Charbonnet can't be tackled. Like the first player's not tackling Charbonnet. And he's just a monster. Like if I needed one player to get me a yard out of the draft class, it'd probably be Charbonnet. Just the way that he just can't be tackled by one guy. He can't. If you YouTube Charbonnet, you will see a running back that is unbelievable after first contact. And I don't know that he'll translate fully. I love what I see in him. I don't think this is an extremely hot take. There are a lot of people that agree with you that Gibbs will be the best running back in the draft class. I don't agree. I think Gibbs could be very good. I think he's more situation dependent than Bijan is a little bit. But if he lands in a great spot, I think Gibbs is going to be very, very, very good. He's just a different runner. I like the build, the frame, the style of play so much better of Bijan. But Gibbs is good in the right spot with the right coach and the right usage. Gibbs could be an absolute monster. So there's a lot of people that kind of feel this way. I don't think that that's an extreme take, but I think the majority of people do see Bijan higher. But there's a lot of Gibbs fans out there. Make Uranus list. Yeah, we're going to have a Uranus list this year.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
We'll have actual players and faces on the Uranus, Planet Uranus list. So get ready for that. This probably won't be a long show today, ladies and gentlemen. Avatar dropping the super chat wad on screen. Appreciate Avatar with the super. Avatar, we're so glad to see you in here. You've been kind of missing this year, and I'm glad you're back. Bijan has a prospect grade similar to Zeke and Saquon, so draft him mid-first round. Gibbs may weigh less than 200 pounds, and he could get Eckler-like touches. Yeah, that's why I say that Gibbs is, because he's such a smaller frame, he's got to land with the right coach. You know, like Gibbs could get screwed because his coach doesn't want to use him as a full-time running back or something like that. You know, like, so for anybody that loves Gibbs, you got to understand that he's got a little bit of a hurdle. He's just got to get over to a coach that wants to use him like Kamara. Because if the coach doesn't want to use him like Kamara, then what's he going to do? You know, so you have that risk factor with Gibbs and his size. Not saying he won't overcome it, but Avatar brings up the main reason why Gibbs is a little bit like riskier than Bijan. He's got a little bit more of an obstacle in front of him, and it's his size. And you need to find the right coach, the right system, the right play calling, the right usage level in order to thrive with Gibbs' frame, which is easily doable, but we can't guarantee that the right coach is going to get their hands on Gibbs. Next Moon Man, I do it just whenever I feel like it, bro. I don't have schedules. I don't. Your boy Smitty just flies by the seat of his pants, bro. And we will see. Yeah, Quorum's good. Coming back from injury, but Quorum's really, really good. He's a good prospect. There's a lot of prospects, bro. Where does Pollard sign? I don't know. It would be interesting to see Pollard in like a... I mean, he could go to any of these places that might draft Bijan, you know? Pollard could be a Raider. Pollard could be a Cardinal. You know, like that'd be crazy. East Coast Tatty dropping 5 gifted membership.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Tatty, you did it, Tatty. You crazy little rascal. Tatty dropping 5 YouTube exclusive memberships. Thank you, Tatty. You're a giving man. You're a giving man. And speaking of good news and all that, we did, I'm sure some of you guys have seen this news, which is fantastic. We had an update on the Hamlin situation. And so this was the best outcome would be, let's see, let me read this from Dr. Timothy from the UC Health on Demar Hamlin. He's made substantial improvement. It appears his neurological condition and function is intact. We are very proud to report. I believe they're communicating with him. He's got a breathing tube in, so they're writing with him. But that's very, very great news. That's fantastic news. There's very, very good chance this thing starts going in only a positive direction. So hopefully, prayers up, continue to think about him. And, man, that's great news. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'm sure some of you have read that. Let's have a year, 2023. Let's go, Taddy. Let's have a year. Taddy, man. Can Jimmy G please be the next Moon Man? No, Jaime, he's not. I also may take this show down to about an hour to an hour and a half on the regular so that I can create more content. So that, like, instead of just having this show, I'll have 2 or 3 videos throughout the day or whatever on top of, this show. So that's just during the off season. During the in season, it ends up being 2 and 3 hour long shows, but we'll probably dial it back to about an hour to hour and a half during the off season just to get more content out there. Smitty, the Dark Horse Ken Walker, this year's Sean Tucker could run 4.3 massive production. Yeah, there's a lot, bro. Just wait till I get into all these RBs. You guys are all mentioning a very, very good list of running backs. I'll have breakdowns on all of them, but Avatar's correct. Corum, Gibbs, Charbonnet, Tucker, all these guys have potential. So get ready, buckle up, get your big boy pants on. We're doing rookie breakdown and content like madmen, like moon men. Please hit that thumb up button, though. We have 150 people in here and only 64 thumbs up. Appreciate you. Quorum is definitely, I know Sandu likes Quorum a lot. I like Quorum. Quorum's really good. 1 hour and then mock drafts later in the night, Brian says. Yeah, I mean, it does guarantee a little more that we'll have the night shows, if I'm doing a shorter show anyway. So, but also I don't think we need to go 2 hours during the off season. I think an hour show is good, an hour and a half, depending on the content and what we're talking about. But we'll definitely be back to 2 hour plus shows when the season's here. So don't worry about that. Especially like in August. August, it gets really heavy in here. We got tons of super chats. We're here for sometimes we did a 4-hour show. Our Monday through Friday show one time was over 4 hours long. Imagine he comes back for a Bills Super Bowl, says the OJ. When are we going to start mocking? We'll do some mock drafts soon. But the pre-rank list data is going to be awful. So they're going to be weird looking mock drafts. Cardinals probably drafting a QB with Kyler out start of the season. I don't know about drafting a QB high though, bro. Maybe they draft a QB at some point, sure, but I don't think they're not spending their top 10 pick on a QB. I don't think that just wouldn't make much sense. Can we get a Bijan emoji? We certainly can. We certainly can. Do I not have one already? I feel like I thought we already had one. Who's your Super Bowl pick? I'm gonna say Eagles versus, I don't know yet on the AFC side. It's gonna be the Bengals, the Chiefs, or the Bills. If I had to pick right now, I would say KC. I suppose KC versus the Eagles, and I don't know who I want to pick as a winner yet. And my heart wants to say the Eagles, but yeah. And Blake, if you're a first time Dynasty guy, we have a Dynasty channel. And the Dynasty channel is almost at 1K. So if I could get you all to subscribe real quick. Blake, you said you can't wait for Dynasty mock drafts. Please subscribe to the Dynasty channel. I'm dropping that link right now, and I'm going to pin it. Oh, that's the YouTube exclusive memberships. Hold on. Dynasty channel. Here we go. Dynasty channel. Please subscribe to the Dynasty channel right now. I'm pinning it right now. Go subscribe. We have how many? Let me check right now. YouTube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. We have 996 subscribers. We need 4 more. But give us a little buffer, a little wiggle room. Everybody, please, pin the link in the live chat. There's 150 of you in here. We need literally 4 or 5 subscribers to get to 1K on the Dynasty channel. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh right here, and I want to see 1,000. 999. Refresh. We got 9,999. 1,000. Just like that. Just like that. Unbelievable. Mom, we did it. Ma, get the meatloaf ready. Ma. We did it.
Mashed potatoes.
Get ready for a bunch of mock drafts. We'll be mock drafting like maniacs on the Dynasty channel. We hit 1K. If anybody ever wants to find the mock draft channel, all you got to do is on my main YouTube page at the very bottom, all my channels are there. All the channels are there, so just scroll down to the bottom of my main YouTube page. You'll see all the channels that are associated with me, and you can see the Dynasty channel there at any point. We did it. We did it, Ma. We did it. 1,000. 1,000. Get that meatloaf ready. Get it cooking. First Dynasty player. Can't wait for drafts. You're going to love Dynasty, bro. We're going to get you ready on the Dynasty channel and on this main channel. This main channel talks Dynasty all the time. Show me. Prove it, Smitty.
Redraft mode activated.
Bijan Robinson. Okay. Bijan is top 5 to 10 in redraft. Oh, you're going to make me go Dynasty? Whoa, young man. Number 1 overall. We're hitting Dynasty and redraft on this channel like crazy. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So we'll be talking Bijan. We'll be talking all kinds of players. Detroit, Bijan to Detroit. I hope not. I hope not. I don't think so. I think they've got enough running backs. I mean, of course, they love running the football, but I don't think so. Cheers to you, Marty. Dynasty channel to the moon. Appreciate you. Anthony, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, and I don't think Dak can handle pressure situations. Wouldn't surprise me if what? What are you saying? They're going to draft a quarterback? I don't think so. Look, Dak's playing pretty well right now. I mean, I agree with you. He's a little suspect, when push comes to shove in the playoffs, but you guys are playing out of your minds right now. I think you got, Bijan to Arizona. I'm kind of feeling like that's the vibe right now. I think the Cardinals would love to give that man league-leading touchdown production. I mean, look at Connor. Connor scored. In the last 2 years, Connor is one of the top 2 running backs in the NFL in touchdowns over the last 2 years. I mean, Bijan would have a lot of touchdowns, and man, I'll be so excited to see Bijan in a Cardinal uniform. I'll be so thrilled. I can't wait. I hope the Cardinals screw it up though every year, but hopefully this is the changing of scenery right now for the Cardinals. Hopefully they figure it out. Bryce Young to Houston, you definitely could see that. Bucks lose. The Cowboys lose to the Bucks in the first round. Yeah, I think it's gonna be it could be a battle, but I do think Tom Brady's on a mission. I think Tom Brady's on a mission. Mike Evans is back to being a monster. The moon. Absolute monster. Oh. All right, let's take a couple more phone calls, then we're out of here.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Thank you all for getting the Dynasty channel, which is linked in the live chat if you want to be a part of it. And you want to be notified when we do Dynasty mock drafts and Dynasty content. Thank you for getting the channel to 1K. Appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome. Bijan to the Rams. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, it's possible. The thing is, whoever wants Bijan might have to trade up to get him. They might have to get him inside a top 6, top 7 overall pick. Yeah, Cam Akers has looked good at the tail end of the season. Just like we predicted, that no running back has ever, or probably will for now at least, return to top 10 running back form coming off an Achilles tear. James Robinson, everybody got all excited thinking that was going to happen. No. Cam Akers, everybody got excited. He looked like trash all year long. Cam's finally getting a little bit of his burst back. Which is expected to be the case every month, every day. You get further and further away from that recovery. It's got to be a year of playing on the injury before you can even expect. Like what Cam's doing right now is what you can maybe start to potentially expect if he can stay healthy. But I mean, there is no hope for Cam or for James Robinson to have a top 10 running back season. Moonman next season. Heard it here first. Judy. I don't think Judy's going to be on my Moonmen list easy. I could pretty much shoot that down right now. I'm sorry to tell you, Jay Easy. I like Judy a lot, but I don't know what to make of that situation, for one. And number two, he's had a tough time staying healthy. I like Judy a lot. But he's not going to be on the Moonmen list, I don't think, bro. I just want to tell you now. Andrew, Bryce Young to the Lions or Texans. Jameson Williams, healthy season. Look, I love Jameson Williams. Wouldn't shock me if he somehow found his way on the Moonmen list. I'll just tell you that. But I don't know. We might have someone like St. Brown reemerge on the Moonmen list as a repeat. Because he's going to be doubted because of Jameson Williams. He'll be doubted a lot. I think a lot of people will doubt St. Brown. So St. Brown could be a Moonman again. And the Moonman list is about
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
the Moonman list is about value. It's about, we're not just going to pick the top
Space Monsters.
10 players in the NFL and put them on the Moonman list. Like, they're on here for a reason. They're on here for an ADP reason and a breakout reason. Anthony, you might be onto something there. Just hang tight. I'm not going to reveal all of them, but we will have a Moonman probably. I would say, I don't think we'll have one every week because we're going to run out of spots, right? But we're going to have one frequently. We've already had 2 Moonmen, and it's January 5th. I got to slow down a little bit. But when I have a feeling, I'm just gonna throw them up. I don't want to waste time. Like, my job isn't to. I hate when people are too strategic about content. I mean, it's smart to be, but at the same time, like, I don't want to hold on to something because then you have less time to take advantage of it. So if I have a feeling about somebody, I'm gonna jump on it versus like, oh, I gotta wait. So that's why there's no schedule, is I don't want to wait. Before you close the show, check my super. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Thank you for reminding me, Jason. Avatar, appreciate your super chat. Could run 4-3, massive production. Coaches the ball, catches the ball, 5'10", 200 plus pounds, steal of the draft. Sean Tucker says Avatar, appreciate you. Get ready for my rookie running back rankings, bro. You're gonna be happy. Jason with a super chat. Jason with a $20 super. How'd I miss that, Jason? How'd I miss that, Jason?
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Hold on, Jason. Hold on. Jason, appreciate you. $20 super chat from my dude. Jason, I'm sorry I left you hanging, bro. Ready to take my lap, but ESPN Default League combines Week 17 and Week 18 for the championship. How do we feel about the Vikings? Are they playing starters? I have Cousins, JJ, and Hawkinson. Do I need to work the wire or what? We don't really know. It does feel like JJ and Cook could get rested. I don't know how much rest or if they play at all. We don't really know right now. I'm not getting any indication that they aren't playing, but there's certainly concern that you're gonna be left unsatisfied with the workloading usage. Like Saquon's not gonna be played at all, if any. There's no word on Jefferson. There's no word on Dalvin Cook. All I can tell you is that there's a real strong likelihood that they get rested. Thank you for the super chat. I would work the wire for sure and then kind of play it by ear. But you could bring this back to us before, kickoff, and we should have more information. Moon Man list AC. Yeah, you're looking at the 2 Moon Men right now, bro. Yeah, so Danny Dimes and Saquon will rest. there's a lot of players that could rest. And I've got an article on this on the fantasyfootballshow.com, which you can go to by going to, yep, you heard me, thefantasyfootballshow.com. I've got an article on the likeliness of players that could be rested and all that. And then, let's see here. Do I need to work the waiver wire or what? Yes, I would. I think I handled that. Jason, you got anything else? Everyone to the moon. New York Giants got nothing to play for. JJ and Kirk go for 250 and break the record against the joke of an NFL team we call the Bears. Says Sam. Jason, I unless you hear that JJ and Cook are sitting, or JJ in your case, you can't sit them for a scrub. Like, we should know. Jason, you still here? We should know in enough time to make the call. Don't like put them on the bench yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same thing as Daniel Jones and Barkley where they're not going to play. So Jason, for now, keep your Viking players in, but we'll play it by ear, okay? And definitely circle back with me. Penny tore his ACL right. That's Ken Walker's backfield. Yeah, it's Kenny Walker's backfield. Come on. Casey says, I'm in a 2-player keeper league, 8-man league. I can keep Walker and Hall at 10 and 11. I think I might end up with the first pick. I want to take Bijan. Yes. So even if you had, I mean, that it's tough to say like Walker, Hall, and Bijan, and you got no wide receivers, but I still very much love that build. And if you could start all three, then it's great. It's a great trio. And I don't think I shy away from Bijan just because you have those other two RBs. So Bijan in a dynasty keeper is so valuable, bro. Top 1 to 5. Would I love for you to have a JJ instead of one of those RBs? Yeah, maybe you can make a trade, but I certainly would not shy away from the Bijan strategy just because of the two keepers. And your keepers are your keepers. You can't. You got to keep who the best keepers are. It doesn't matter if it's wide receiver or running back. So you got to make the right move there. What have you missed? Ron Navy, you missed this right here.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters, indeed. That's going to put a wrap on the show. Appreciate you all. Thank you, KC. Thank you. Who else super chatted here? Let me thank everybody who super chatted. Super chats. KC, appreciate you. Jason, please circle back. For now, keep your Vikings in, but there's a good chance they could sit them. I don't know. Or rest them at halftime, or I don't know. Avatar, thank you for the back-to-back double super chats. Appreciate you all. And I will see you all later tonight because that's how we roll. Appreciate you all. Moon Men list out. One more time.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Yeah, I like Fields as a keeper. Depends on the situation, but I do love Fields. It totally depends on the situation. Ron Navy dropping a $20 holler. My bad this is me being late fee. My being late fee. Sorry I missed the show. Ron Navy to the moon.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Ron Navy, appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate all of you. Now we're out. Oh, wait a minute. Your boy Smitty failed. I failed all of you. Everybody here looking at this man right here on the left. That is me. Meat Suit Smitty. Meat Suit Smitty was 223 pounds in this photo. I still am. I'm about 221. So I restarted. I recommitted myself to defying the bully that is Johnny Lawrence from Karate Kid, who came in and said that I never follow through, and he was right. I didn't follow through on my Christmas guarantee to be ripped by Christmas, but I will follow through on making Miss Smitty the happiest woman alive on Valentine's Day when I am looking like an absolute shredded monster. And I'm on my way. I'm dropping the LBs. I urge all of you to take this journey with me, whether it's losing weight, gaining muscle, drinking more water, or learning language, or learning how to canoe. Whatever it is that might tickle your fancy, you have 39 days to set a goal, and I hope you all choose a goal with me so that we can all celebrate together on the 39th day on Valentine's Day. So I'm going to hit my goal, and I'm already on my way. My face already looks a little thinner. My face looks a lot thinner when I hit like 215, 210. I start looking like a slim man from the neck up. So we're on our way. This 223-pound monster in front of you is going to be gone, withered away. How tall am I? I'm 6'2" and a quarter. Right now might be 6'2" because the meat suit holds me down a little bit. Like it's a little bit like as I shed off the LBs, I might start to rise a little bit because it's heavy. It's heavy to wear the meat suit around, bro. But let's do it, okay? So join me, choose a goal. We'll be showing this I'll be updating my weight. Today we're at we'll put it at 222. I don't want to cheat because I don't know if it is 221 or not yet. But 222, we're down a pound. We got 39 days. My goal is to be about 205. 205 and ripped. All right. We'll see you all later. Everybody pick a goal. Slats has got a goal. Appreciate that. Pick a goal. Any goal. Do it with us. Do it live. See you all tonight.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Payload delivered.